his own story, his biography?
Yeah, his part of his biography, his trial there. And that is now, is actually what all these Tertons, every Tertons, that when you read the life story of the Tertons, they really goes to the Pure Land of the Copper Glory Mountain, Nyingma's Pure Land, at least one times. And mostly is a time in the dreams, or the visions, of course, dreams and visions, that every Terton goes. So it's very fascinating, and I just like to read that to you and tell you that. So this is now Ratna Lingpa, and in said he was and so he discovered Terma teaching at 30s. At 37, he has obstacles in his lives. That was said in the professors or in the predictions at 37. And so I should do some more practices, meditating. So he's doing retreat for 1 year, doing retreat during that time. And so, well, he is this doing the retreat, and he has a dream in the 10th day night, the dream, and 5 beautiful girls with the bone ornaments came to me. They all said, let's go to the Tsewang area. The Tsewang area is a Tibetan area, and the Tsewang. This is all the central Tibet, but the Ratna Lingpa was born in the wood. So in wood. So they said, let's go to the Tsewang areas. There you have a lot of beneficial activities to do. And you don't have much beneficial activities in here. Well, let's go there. And I said, I cannot completed my teachings, what I have to do here. So I want to go for 2 years. And then they said, okay, noble son, this year you have some obstacles, so therefore you should practice this. And afterward you should do then more beneficial activities. That's correct. So he dreamed that night. Then again, that same night, and another beautiful lady came with the silk ribbon shawls, okay, and with the damaru and the bells. And they also said, here you don't have much really beneficial activities. Why we don't go to the west? Or go some other areas. Why you go here? And so he had that dream. And then he thought, if I really die for a few years, I have to do a lot of this beneficial activity, fulfill my obligation. Then I will go to the Pure Land of Ngurupema Sambhava. But I still not completed everything what I have to do of these lives. So I won't go. And then you should do. So that's what he thought. And again, that must be again that night. Then maybe the midnight or later night. That later of that night. And so I did a lot of, again, prayings, and then that moment while I'm praying, there's prayer flags which is moving by the wind, and there's beautiful fragrance came, and then that moment, in the southwest direction, I looked up in the sky. There's a young boy, looks like 8-year-old boy, with bone ornament and holding katenka, the trident, in underneath the arm, and with damaru and the bells, he's dancing. And together with there's many ladies with the bone ornaments. Again, they are holding big silk ribbons, that which has long as like 2 elbow sides, long sides. And they are kind of playing that in the sky. Those ribbons are flowing in the sky, kind of just like this, flapping. And everyone doing kind of different dancing looks like. When I kind of see this, that moment I was kind of remember strongly of the Guru Padma Sambhava. And my devotions become so strong. I said, I made strong prayers and strong meditation, kind of feel a little bit tired, and then I fall asleep. And when I fall asleep, and again in the sky of the west, where the skies, there is a beautiful sound of the bell and a damaru came. Now he's sleeping, he's in a dream. And there also some, what's called whistles. Whistles came. And there is another beautiful lady, young girl. 5 of them with the bone ornament, with the ribbons, with tassels, and kind of as a dancing dress came. He said, they all came to him. All noble yogi, why you are so kind of yearning or calling to Guru Rinpoche? If you really miss too much in Guru Rinpoche, let's go to Guru Padma Sambhava Pure Land. And they are having, now in the Pure Land of Guru Padma Sambhava, they are having big ceremonies of the 3 root, Guru, Deva and Dakini ceremony. So we actually come to call you brother to come there. And extend or activated your realization. Let's go together. When they say that, I can't remember the previous, there's famous Terton that he's the other day, that when he's met the first time, the Guru Padma Sambhava, that he's copying that 11 activity of Guru Padma Sambhava's story, life story of the 11 activity of Guru Padma Sambhava. He was copied that Terton, Guru Chijawam, so he can't remember, or he went to the Pure Land of the Guru Padma Sambhava. So he remembered that. But he said that when Guru Chijawam went to the Pure Land of Guru Padma Sambhava, he went kind of with a lot of long distance, difficult way. So I thought, I won't go now. He thought, I won't go now. And if I go there, you have easy method that I can reach there easily? He said, I can reach easily there. And there is one girl, that which is white girl, he pulled out from his hair pocket, white scarf the size of the one elbow, and to the length is about 3 length of the fingers, or this finger, what?
5 inches.
5 inches or so, that means about 15 inches or 16 inches. And so he pulled, and two other girls, the two girls hold the other side the scarf's piece. You sit here there and do the practices and some kind of dancing activity. Shouldn't miss those. You should do those, and then you will reach to in front of Guru Padma Sambhava very easily, and they give him dorji and a tribu, bell and dorji. So the 4 sides, Dakinis, these 4 ladies, are lifted up his scarf. And they all lifted up in the sky, feel that he's living in the sky, but they all dancing with the 7 branch accumulation prayer. They're kind of joining that and left up in the sky. And I'm praying. I'm praying 7-line prayers and 3 Kaya prayer of the Lamas. I pray. So then now we left in the sky. And then when you kind of left in the sky, he saw above the sky, when he looking down to the earth, he saw the Shambhunath, which is in Nepal, the very famous stupa, he said. They kind of said, oh, this is the beautiful stupa. That actually all the disciples really, when they went, I kind of read many times, had similar things. They lifting up the sky, and then Rakin is telling all these, see this, those there to see the kind of different places, the holy places in Nepal, in India, and all that. And they all went to the southwest, west. So here, Ratna Lingpa is similar. He saw this Shambhunath, and there is a beautiful stupa, and as well as many other beautiful stupa. He saw the whole area of the Kathmandu areas. And then went far away, and then he saw continually they were walking for the southwest directions. Southwest directions, and there is then he saw the Asura caves. Southern Asura caves. And there is also he saw many Asura caves is where the Nyingmapas Masambhava practiced and meditated Vedic life practices. So this is where there is really still beautiful handprints we see. And some said this handprint of Nyingmapas Masambhava, and some says maybe some other great masters. But whoever is a very famous place. So he saw that. And then he's continually moving now. Moving. And then he said that there is beautiful two rivers he saw. And between there is beautiful also big temples and stupas. And these ladies said, oh, this is the Buddha Gaya, they said. And they're making a lot of kind of praying offerings to Buddha Gaya. And I also made offering prayers to them. And then went. So I will make kind of briefly. And then he said all the different things, one after another. I mean, went to from many places. Then they reach above the Odeana. And they said that this is the Odeanas. And then they went. And there's a beautiful now ocean. Ocean is just, it looks like sky. It looks like. And far beyond the ocean, then he saw this is where the Copper Glory Mountain places. He said this is. And he thought this is now the Copper Glory Mountains. Maybe we have to come down onto these places or landing on these places. And then in my heart, then I thought maybe I now can't go back to Tibet. Tibet, he kind of feel a little bit funny about that. Maybe I cannot go back to Tibet now. And then this lady said, brother, you don't have to be sad so much. This is now you're really approaching to the Copper Glory Mountain. Look to this, and this, and that. They again showed many places. And then they reached to the Copper Glory Mountains. And again, there's a lot of land formations and beautiful places, and also private places, one after another. This. And that is Rocky Mountains are like so steep and sharp, and standing up the top. And so many places, one after another, all that places. And then that when they arrived there, and then all those ladies are kind of like, they will come down to the ground, and they drop the holding the scarf that they dropped it, and they said, now you sit here. So and then they sit or they stop their short time. And that moment, not on the scarf, but now somehow they kind of lift up as a bird. And there is in the middle of this is all a dream now. And there is beautiful stupa, and there is now many beautiful flowers, and big flowers. And there is then temple of the three Buddhas, such as Avalokiteshvara, Avalokiteshvara, Manjushri, and Vajrapanis. And so, and then they completed that one lady who pulled out that scarf. For originally, she pulled back that scarf and she put that in the pocket. And then they went a little further, walked forward. There is beautiful crystal boulder, big boulder, where they also put footprint of the Nyingmapas Masambhavas. And they said, and then now you should circle ambulance to these temples and places. When you go back to Tibet, you should write down all this experience and what you saw. It is good for your future disciples and your students. Good. And should write that. So that they said that. But then they went take different locations, different places, one after another. Really so many just beautiful things. And so that really beautiful sight, seeing jewels everywhere they went, many places that. And now finally they come back, came to the very beautiful, what's called boundary walls, beautiful boundary walls. And that is the direction. There is then the throne of Ngurupema Sambhav. In that, when they entered, nearby there is one beautiful young lady, about 16 years old, and she is white with the letter reddish and wearing all the beautiful ornaments such as gold, turquoise, and the pearls, many days, and came and she held his hands, and she bet into his heels, and said, "Oh, wonderful! Now you son able to come to mom. I'm so happy. Let's go inside." And so when she said that, and he couldn't recognize her, and he asked, "Who are you? Who are you?" And she answered, "You don't recognize me? And I am, and because I don't recognize, I come from Tibet, and because please bless me and help me when I said that." And she said that to you, "Oh, this is because you're obscured by the obscurations of the taking birth, and that's what is happened. But if you don't recognize, when I was in Tibet, I was known as Yishin Soja or Karchinza Soja. Now I'm the daughter of the king of the cannibal or this, and the queen of blissfulness, and also my name is Magic Dongmi too. And from the beginning time until now, I've been always helping you and protecting you. That is I am. When she said that, I was so happy. I touched to her feet and said, "Oh, kindness mother, you help me always, and please continue hold me with your compassion." When I said that, she said, "Let's go in." And all those other girls, before those other girls are also there. Let's go in, and many students are coming to receive empowerment from Guru Padma. Let's go in. Everyone says. When I came in the temple, big temple, there's so many Nakinis are dancing, singing, and many other preparation for the big ceremonies. And then I went up there, and inside there is another steps of the copper steps. I climbed up that copper steps. And when I got there, inside there is beautiful, again, palace of the temple. All the underneath the floor is a completely golden floor and radiating the light. And Guru Padma Sambhava is sitting on the beautiful throne and facing to the eastern directions. And he is sitting as a Sambhokaya, Nyingmakaya customs, and majestically really sitting with beautiful. And that when I arrived to there, Mother Yishin Soja that gave me one conch shell and one bell and a dorji in my hand, and asked to make that offering to Guru Padma Sambhava. So I offered that to him. I made so many prostrations. I kind of feel very longing and yearning, and even I cried. And precious teacher, please bless me, hold me. And Guru Padma Sambhava put his hand on my head, and he said, welcome noble son. Of course, I will keep you always in my protection. Very so fortunate that you're able to come here. And let's be together with the ceremony and keep everything with your unforgettable memories. Keep that. It's wonderful, auspicious circumstances that you're able to come. It will help to your disciples, and it will help. Today you offer me the conch shell, it will help. It is indicating your teaching will be spread to every direction where there is nobody not here. And you offered me the bell. That symbolizes that skillful means that wisdoms are inseparable. Rebels and inseparable meanings. And all your disciples that also will come to these pure lands. And today we're making preparations of these big ceremonies. So that's what Guru Padma said. When I saw the preparation ceremonies, and now I see the great master Nyingma Gyübum, Merotanam, and Samye Yishi, Kwarchiza, they are like taking the responsibility of the personal part of the ceremonies, responsibilities, and then all the disciples there. So many are there, and some I can't recognize that. So many. And so many also cannibal men and females. Everyone there. And all this thing now began to prepare to join to the practices. In front of the door, the master Nyingma Gyübum, as you all know, one of the disciples who is riding the sunlight, one of the 25 disciples, or one of the heart-like disciples. In Verojana, they both are making big ceremony that subjugating or removing the obstacles. And then that ceremony time, Guru Padma sits on the lion's throne. Stay there at lion's kind of supporting. And that throne has 5 levels. Above that there is like corpse. Above that is then lotus, 1,000 petal lotuses. Above that, then kind of beautiful what's called again perfect, very beautiful perfect kind of layout. And above that, Guru Padma sitting. And in the right side of the Guru Padma Sambhava, then all these great masters of the 25 disciples, such as Nyingma Gyübum, Samye Yishi, Yarvam Chowi, Parji Yishi, Parji Sangye, Parving, and Acharya, they all lined up in the right side. And in the left side, there is then Verochana, Jnana Kumara, Acharya Yishi, Dema Tsewang, Shela Menzu, Dorji Dundur, they all lined up there. Everyone is wearing lotus hats. And the center of the beautiful mandala, about like 4 square, and height is like 1 elbow height. And the 2 sides of the Guru Padma Sambhava, Mandarava, Ishim Sojas, they all sitting. And then the southern direction, there is then many dakinis, Trashi Chendi, Nomza, Chimza, and then many dakinis, and as well as Videdara, male, he don't recognize. And the northern direction of the Guru Padma Sambhava, Parmo Shakya, many dakinis, such as Parmo Shakya Devi, Sheka Doti himself, Choro Za, Royon Za, Parkim Choni, Sherzam Gonji, Parkim Gancho, Rechin Tsui, Nudin, all those are the disciples of Guru Padma Sambhava, female disciples of Guru Padma Sambhava, they're all sitting in that. And then they're all wearing kind of lotus heads. And then the other side of these different directions, there is so many many retinues. All this from that cannibal country, like cannibal countries, the older ones, young ones, and boys and the girls, and then also so many are lined up this. And then Yeshim Soja asked him over here, saying that Yeshim Soja asked me to come to sit with her. So I came to stay with her. And they did big ceremonies big ceremonies, and then they did and feel that they did ceremony about 21 days. And then all the detailed ceremony, empowerment, everything is so detailed. And that everything what Guru Masamba told and Guru Masamba said, there's so many things I couldn't write down here. That's what the Ratna Lingpa said. And give empowerment and the teachings, everything that. So those all, and then they give a lot of empowerment teachings and see all the Buddha, such as Buddha Amitabha, Avalokiteshvara, Ayangirva, Tara, and Veda Yogini, everyone, all that this in the mandala, all the, one after another. I mean, this again, so many beautiful, really displays, explanations, and then that, and so, and then just and then they had the beautiful again ceremony, beautiful fruit, beautiful flowers, beautiful food, and then among that, and that one lady who came, or the girls who came with to invite him, and 5 girls, one of them came to me and gave me 3 fruits, and I ate that. It's just so delicious. I can't explain how delicious it is. And then there's so many, also these male and females of the cannibals are receiving the teachings. And so many Dakinis are dancing. And this beautiful stadium, there's so many beautiful flowers, and the dancing and having the big kind of party celebrations. So this is just, everything is those one after another, all that. And now, so then, I mean, there's so many again things, I'm not really going through all that. But finally, Guru Masamba said to him, to Rena, listen, noble son, this year you have some bumpy, your lives had some difficulty, but now is removed. You should keep every teachings and practice as you received. Among that, the heart practice of the Tukdap, that is the my heart practices, and that is the treasure of the Tibetans. And keep that, practice it, and share that to the others. And keep the good conductors, keep the pure samayas, keep the bodhicitta, and to benefit to all beings. And everyone who's connected to you, welcome to these pure lands. And you are going to benefit generally for the whole world, and particularly to the Tibetans. Tibetans, you will going to benefit, and do that, and don't forget what I said. He said that, and then and I feel kind of so happy and joy when he said that I hold his feet. And he said, now going back to Tibet is so difficult. Even going back to Tibet, even the Buddha came to Tibet, is not going to really benefit. There's so many kind of like things happening. There's so many emotions are coming one after another. Is that. And I was really tired and bored. And so let me please, Master, dear Father, let me stay here, and I like to be here. This going back to Tibet is so much. He said, again, Guru Masamba said, dear son, don't give up your bodhicitta. Do you remember when you are Lando Loza? Loza, that means one of the 25 disciples or the predecessor of the Ratna Lingpa. Remember what you did, bodhisattva aspirations or bodhicitta aspirations. And that bodhicitta aspiration you have to fulfill right now. Whoever connects to you, whether it's a good connected, whether it's a bad connection, you're going to help to them. Don't discourage it, increase your bodhicitta, and do benefit for all the sentient beings. And you have variety of the tools to benefit all the other beings. Don't hold back those. Share those teachings as much as you can. And your lineage will be uninterrupted, will help. And this, your teaching, what you're revealing, that will become heart vitality or heart essence of the teachings. And I will bless you all the time. Don't don't give up bliss. Don't give up your body to this. So Guru Masamba said that. I feel so kind of sad in leaving the places, and I cried. Again, Guru Masamba pat me on my head and said, listen, son, you've been here 21 days. That is your pure perceptions. And it is your dream. And you go back to Tibet without waking up your dreams. Keep your dream yoga practice, because you have the power of the dream yoga practice. With that dream yoga, you go back to Tibet immediately, and then you will come back to me. You are never going to separate from me. So go back to Tibet. Sit there. And then Guru Masamba said, no more our instructions, it's almost instructions that I didn't put all in here. At that time, particularly, and I held the Yichin Soja, embrace Yichin Soja, I cried. And please again, let me stay. And she gave lot of instructions, and they have to go back. So I finally touched their feet, and then they kind of ushered me outside of the palace, and from there, then I kind of like keep my dream, and facing to the north-east direction, and they went over so many countries and the lands and the rivers, and then finally I got back to before the sunlight come. Our sun is hitting on the mountain top. Then I back to my retreat cabin. When I got back to my retreat cabin, my wife or his consort known as Chujizamu, he was in the retreat hut, and she's making beautiful ceremony of the long life prayers. And so that is my what's called the dreams and the visions, how he went to Copper Glory Mountains. And so that is the brief story of the Ratna Lingpa. Thank you. Okay, so I think we'll stop here. Thank you. It's Ratna. Oh yeah, we conclude this Ratna Lingpa now. Really that. I'm going so